Chapter 11. On the second platform, there was also a box, but it was made of bronze. Opening the box, there were 2 books and a jade box. One of the books was not made of paper, but seemed to be made of gold. There were hundreds of pages, and it felt light in his hand as if it was weightless. There were 4 words written on it: True Dragon Battle Art. Lu Ming quickly opened it and read it carefully. So this is not the second level of the True Dragon Battle Art, but the complete version. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. As he continued reading, the smile on Lu Ming's face grew wider. According to the records, the True Dragon Battle Art he saw on the first platform was not the first level, but the beginning of the True Dragon Battle Art. It was mainly used to build the foundation and better open the 3 divine veins. And from here, the True Dragon Battle Art truly began. The True Dragon Battle Art was divided into 9 levels. The True Dragon Battle Art condensed dragon-shaped vital energy, and the vital energy cultivated was much more condensed than ordinary vital energy. According to the records, as long as one cultivated the first level, the vital energy would be twice as condensed as ordinary vital energy. Cultivating the second level would be 3 times, and so on. If one cultivated the 9th level, the vital energy would be 10 times as condensed as ordinary vital energy. Lu Ming was ecstatic. 10 times? What kind of concept was that? It was like comparing steel and rotten wood. When steel struck, the rotten wood would be smashed into pieces. As expected of a god-level cultivation technique, it was terrifying. However, the difficulty of successfully cultivating it was no small matter. Not to mention the 9th level, even the first level required one to open 3 divine veins. Otherwise, one would not be able to cultivate it successfully. No wonder the True Dragon Battle Art that he obtained on the first platform stated that he had to open 3 divine veins before he could cultivate the rest of the cultivation technique. This was the first level, and the second level required a lot of materials to assist in cultivation. All of them were extremely precious materials, and some of them Lu Ming had not even heard of. Let's not worry about the rest. To be able to cultivate the first level, the vital energy is twice as condensed as ordinary vital energy. This is already very terrifying. A look of excitement appeared in Lu Ming's eyes as he read through the True Dragon Battle Secrets in detail before picking up another book. Flowing Light Sword Art, Yellow Level Upper Level Sword Art. Once mastered, the sword light would be like flowing light, as fast as lightning. This was actually a high-grade yellow rank martial skill. One had to know that the Lu clan's martial skill was only a high-grade yellow rank martial skill. In addition, there was a jade box with the words Primary Spirit Pill written on it. The Primary Spirit Pill was a level 3 pill. It was worth at least tens of thousands of taels of silver. There was no market for it. It could quickly increase one's cultivation. It was very useful for martial masters, and even more so for martial warriors. Last time, it was the Marrow Cleansing Pill. Now, it's the Primary Spirit Pill. Both are suitable for me. Lu Ming suppressed the ecstasy in his heart and revealed a thoughtful expression. He had a feeling that these were all arranged by someone. Otherwise, how could he be the one who applied it every time? Strange. However, he could not figure it out. Lu Ming shook his head. If he could not figure it out, then he would not think about it. Lu Ming looked at the third platform. If the first and second platforms had such valuable items, then what about the third platform? There were still 99 steps leading to the third platform. When Lu Ming reached the 99th step, as expected, there was a resistance that blocked his path. On the third platform, there was no box as he expected. It was empty. There was only a stone platform in the middle of the platform. He could not see what it was used for. I'm looking forward to it. Lu Ming was very curious about the third platform and the platforms above it. However, he could not go up. Shaking his head, Lu Ming returned to the second platform and started to circulate the True Dragon Battle Secrets. It was time to break through to the martial warrior realm. True Qi circulated through the 12 meridians and the 108 meridians lit up. The surging True Qi finally gathered in his dantian. Hoo! Suddenly, a cyclone appeared in his dantian. It was spinning rapidly. The True Qi in the 12 meridians was constantly gathering towards the cyclone. At first, the cyclone was very big, like a fog. As time passed, the cyclone became smaller and more condensed. In the end, it was like a real entity that could be seen clearly. Raw, as if there was a dragon's roar, the true chi in Lu Ming's body was like a small dragon, shuttling back and forth between the meridians and the cyclone. Lu Ming's aura became stronger by a large margin. Martial Warrior Realm, Breakthrough. Lu Ming had finally reached the Martial Warrior Realm. As for the true dragon battle secrets, he had naturally cultivated to the first level. Who? Lu Ming opened his eyes and let out a long breath. This breath was like a pillar of air that shot out for more than a meter before dissipating. Boom! Lu Ming stood up abruptly and threw a punch. The air was like a bomb, exploding with a loud bang and loud noises. What a strong force! How strong am I now? Is it the second or third level of martial warrior? Lu Ming had already broken through 3 meridians. He was already superior to ordinary people. Now that he had cultivated to the first level of the true dragon battle secrets, his true chi was twice as dense as ordinary true chi. Lu Ming really did not know how strong he was now. Then, Lu Ming looked at the primary spirit pill. During this period, my cultivation has increased too quickly. I need to consolidate it. It's not suitable for me to take the primary spirit pill. Moreover, there are still 18 days before the family gathering. It's enough. I'll take the primary spirit pill when it's almost time. That way, I'll have more confidence in the family gathering. Lu Ming clenched his fists. Feeling the strong power in his body, he was full of confidence. In the following time, Lu Ming consolidated his cultivation while cultivating a few martial arts techniques, especially the flowing lightsword technique. In the blink of an eye, half a month had passed. At this time, there were only 3 days before the family gathering. However, after such a long time, Lu Ming's bloodline had yet to mature. However, the speed at which he absorbed the spiritual chi of heaven and earth had increased. Now, it was actually comparable to a third-level bloodline. In addition to the true dragon battle secrets, Lu Ming's speed of absorbing spiritual chi was comparable to a 4th-level bloodline even if he cultivated normally. In this half a month, Lu Ming's cultivation had not only consolidated, but it was also steadily advancing. He had already reached the peak of the first level of martial warrior. In terms of martial arts techniques, the Flame Dragon Fist was still at the 4th level, perfection. For martial arts techniques, the higher the level, the more difficult it was to improve. Some people might not be able to cultivate a low-grade yellow-rank martial arts technique to perfection in their entire life. However, the Dragon Snake Steps had also improved and reached the 4th level, perfection. As for the flowing lightsword technique, it was a high-grade yellow-rank martial art and was even more difficult to cultivate. In half a month's time, with the help of the chanting, Lu Ming only managed to cultivate to the 2nd level, which was a small success. Lu Ming sat on a stone bench in the courtyard, brewed a cup of tea, and slowly drank it. After cultivating for so long, Lu Ming also wanted to relax a little before making the final push. Young master, I have good news for you." As soon as he finished his words, a pretty and charming young lady appeared before Lu Ming. Chapter 12. However, compared to half a month ago, Mid-Autumn Moon had changed a lot. In the past half a month, Mid-Autumn Moon had been taking blood-replenishing pills and was no longer weak and skinny. Her face was as beautiful as a lotus flower that had just emerged from the water. She had a charming blush, lively and delicate. Her slightly swollen chest was like a budding flower that could bloom at any time. Her slender waist, perky and round buttocks, and slender legs made her look even more slender and elegant. She was very likable. She was definitely a beauty. "What's the good news?" Lu Ming asked with a smile. "Young master, you only care about your own cultivation all day and don't come to see me. Let me tell you, I have already opened 4 meridians." Mid-Autumn Moon whispered into Lu Ming's ear. A faint fragrance entered Lu Ming's nose. It smelled very good. Poochie. However, Lu Ming was not in the mood to smell it. He spat out a mouthful of tea and his eyes almost popped out. He looked at Mid-Autumn Moon in disbelief and asked, "Autumn Moon, what did you say? You've already opened 4 meridians?" "Yes, Young master, is there anything strange? Those meridians are very easy to open. I opened them in one hit. Mid-Autumn Moon blinked her big eyes and asked curiously. Lu Ming's mouth began to tremble. He clearly remembered that Mid-Autumn Moon had been recuperating her body for the past 10 days. It was only 3 days ago that Lu Ming passed the qi-gathering technique to Autumn Moon and taught her how to open meridians. However, in just 3 days, Mid-Autumn Moon had already opened 4 meridians. Moreover, her bloodline had not awakened and she was using the trashiest qi-gathering technique. This was simply unbelievable. Also, what did she mean by opened them in one hit? Wasn't this the rhythm of infuriating people to death? Could it be that Mid-Autumn Moon was a peerless martial arts genius? Lu Ming's heart was burning. Nothing. Autumn Moon, can you feel the power of your bloodline? Lu Ming coughed a few times and then asked. For some reason, I can't feel the power of the bloodline. Autumn Moon was also a little confused. Lu Ming pondered for a moment and said, Autumn Moon, come to my room. I'll check for you. Okay. Autumn Moon seemed to have thought of something, and her face turned slightly red. When they arrived at Lu Ming's room, the two of them sat on the bed. Tang Feng was going to check Autumn Moon's bloodline. Although he couldn't accurately measure the situation of the bloodline, he could at least know a little. Young master, how do we check? Autumn Moon seemed to be a little nervous. She fidgeted with her hands and asked softly with a blush on her face. Autumn Moon's appearance was exceptionally charming. Lu Ming's heart could not help but flutter. He revealed a trace of a mischievous smile and said, Of course, I'll take off your clothes to check. Ah! Take off my clothes? Autumn Moon let out a cry of surprise. Her small face was so red that it was about to bleed. Even her ears were red. Her pair of small hands grabbed her clothes. She was obviously very nervous. Haha, silly girl, I'm just joking with you. As long as I inject true qi into your back, it will be fine. Lu Ming laughed. Autumn Moon blushed and said, Young master, you're so naughty. Okay, let's start. Lu Ming smiled, then stretched out his palm and placed it on Autumn Moon's back. Although there was a layer of clothes between them, he could still feel the warmth of her skin. Qiu Yu felt as if she had been electrocuted. Her body trembled and she let out a moan. Her small face was flushed red. She glanced at Lu Ming with her big watery eyes and then quickly lowered her head. Lu Ming took a deep breath and calmed himself down. Then, he slowly injected true qi into Autumn Moon's spine. Then, Lu Ming's palm gently pushed up from the bottom of Autumn Moon's back to stimulate the blood vessels and check the situation. At this moment, Lu Ming's face changed. This was because he felt a strong resistance in Autumn Moon's spine, hindering his true qi. What's going on? Lu Minute frowned. Then, he increased the input of true qi. At this moment, there was a sudden change. Qiu Yu's spine suddenly emitted a glaring blood-red glow. Immediately after, a powerful force surged from Qiu Yu's spine and surged toward Lu Ming. This force was not something Lu Ming could resist. With a bang, Lu Ming was directly sent flying by this force and hit the wall. At this moment, the red light on Autumn Moon's spine disappeared without a trace. It was as if nothing had happened. Young master. Autumn Moon was shocked. She quickly jumped off the bed and helped Lu Ming. I'm fine. Lu Ming got up. Other than his qi and blood surging, there was nothing else. Although the force that emerged from Autumn Moon's spine was strong, it was not lethal. Young master, it's good that you're fine. I was scared to death just now. Autumn Moon patted her chest. Lu Ming frowned. He was sure that Autumn Moon had a blood vessel. However, it was strange that it could produce such a strong force that sent him flying. This was simply unheard of. Seeing Lu Ming frown, Autumn Moon knew that Lu Ming was worried about her blood vessel. She said softly, Young master, if Autumn Moon can't awaken her blood vessel, then forget it. Oh right, young master, I'll go cook for you and madam. With that, Autumn Moon opened the door and walked out. After Autumn Moon left, Lu Ming thought for a while, but he could not figure out why. He could only put it aside for the time being. He would look up the records in the future to see if there were any similar records. After the meal, Lu Ming returned to his room and entered the Temple of Paragon again. There were still 2 more days before the clan meeting. Lu Ming planned to take the spiritual essence pill to make the final push. The Spirit Yuan pill was a level 3 elixir. It was impossible for an ordinary person to completely refine it within 2 days. All elixirs were poisonous to some extent. All elixirs would contain impurities and toxins. One would need time to slowly refine them. However, this was not a problem for Lu Ming. After swallowing the spiritual essence pill, Lu Ming started to circulate the true dragon art. A strong suction force came from his spine and absorbed the spiritual essence pill. Then, pure energy emerged. The energy whirlpool in his energy center spun quickly and absorbed the energy. Lu Ming's cultivation was increasing rapidly. 2 days passed in the blink of an eye. The clan meeting of the Lu family had finally arrived. Lu Yarrow, Great Elder, I'll give you a big surprise. Lu Ming opened his eyes from his cultivation. He could feel the surging vital energy in his body, and the corners of his lips curled into a cold smile. He left the Temple of Paragon and came to the courtyard. Hey! Why aren't Mother and Autumn Moon here? Lu Ming looked around and realized that Li Ping and Autumn Moon were not around. It was impossible. Today was the clan meeting. Li Ping and Autumn Moon would definitely be waiting for him here. Hurry up and wash these clothes. After you're done, clean the toilet too. Just then, a shrill, duck-like cry came from the next room. Lu Ming and the rest used to live in the servants' room. Hence, the room next door was naturally where the servants lived and worked. You're too much. It's fine if you want us to wash the clothes, but you want us to clean the toilet too? My wife is the wife of the patriarch. You're too much. I'm going to report you to the elders. At this moment, a delicate shout rang out. Boom. That shout was like a clap of thunder in Lu Ming's ears. Instantly, Lu Ming's eyes turned red and anger rushed to his chest. That shout was from Autumn Moon. The wife that Autumn Moon was referring to was Lu Ming's mother, Li Ping. These servants actually asked Li Ping and Autumn Moon to wash the clothes and even clean the toilet. Damn it. Chapter 13. At this moment, in the courtyard next to Lu Ming's, Li Ping and Chiu Autumn Moon were washing clothes. In front of them was a large pile of clothes, all of which were changed by the Lu family's servants. In front of him stood a fat middle-aged man with a mustache. Behind him were 2 burly men with sturdy bodies. This fat man was the Great Elder's butler, Duan San. At this moment, Duan San sneered and stared at Chiu Autumn Moon and Li Ping. Oh my, you want to sue me in the Elder's courtyard? What nonsense. After today, Miss Lu Yarrow will take over the position of the head of the Lu family. By then, you will be nothing. Let me tell you, you will have to do these chores every day, so you better practice it now. You. Don't even think about it. My young master will not let you succeed. Chiu Autumn Moon was so angry that her face turned red. She pointed at Duan San and shouted. Lu Ming, that trash. Ha ha ha, you still think that Lu Ming can save you? Stop dreaming. If it wasn't for the fact that we couldn't find him today, he would be cleaning the toilets now. Duan San let out a shrill laugh that was unpleasant to hear. His pair of small eyes emitted a lustful light as they swept over Chiu Yu's body. He said, I didn't expect that after not seeing you for a while, you would become so beautiful. How about this, you come to my room and serve me well. As long as you serve me well, I can consider not letting you wash the toilet. Don't even think about it. Chiu Autumn Moon's face turned pale as she subconsciously took 2 steps back. Duan San's face turned cold. Don't even think about it. I just want to take this girl down and bring her to my room. Yes. The 2 strong men behind Duan San answered. No, I beg you, Butler Duan, let Chiu Autumn Moon go. I will do whatever you want me to do. Please let Chiu Autumn Moon go. Li Ping stood in front of Chiu Autumn Moon and looked at Duan San pleadingly. Go away. The 2 strong men shouted coldly. One of them waved his hand and was about to slap Li Ping. At this moment, bang, the gate of the courtyard suddenly exploded, sending broken wood flying everywhere. The incident happened so suddenly that the 2 men also stopped. Everyone's gaze turned towards the door. A young figure strode in. Lu Ming, it's you? You came at the right time. Now go clean the toilet. Seeing that it was Lu Ming, Duan San let out a sigh of relief, and a cold smile appeared on his face. This young man was naturally Lu Ming. Lu Ming didn't even look at Duan San. He walked over to Li Ping and asked, Mother, are you all right? Mother is fine. Ming, why are you here? We'll take care of things here. Leave quickly, Li Ping said anxiously. Lu Ming shook his head and said, Mother, I'm late. From today onwards, I won't allow you to suffer such grievances. Lu Ming, you trash. I'm talking to you. Can't you hear me? Duan San's voice came from behind him. Lu Ming slowly turned around and stared at Duan San. His eyes were incomparably cold, like the eyes of a demon from hell. The situation at the scene caused Lu Ming to feel an intense anger. It filled his chest and could explode at any time. The blazing anger turned into a cold killing intent. A cold sentence came from Lu Ming's mouth, Duan San, you deserve to die. The cold gaze caused Duan San's heart to turn cold. However, when he thought that Lu Ming was just a trash, his courage increased. He revealed a sinister expression and shouted, Lu Ming, you dare threaten me? You're courting death. Break his limbs for me. Yes. The two brawny men also revealed sinister expressions and reached out to grab Lu Ming's arm. These two brawny men were at the peak of the middle stage of the Meridian Opening Realm. Ming. Li Ping turned pale with fright. Duan San sneered. Crack, crack. The sound of two bones breaking rang out, followed by two mournful screams. Duan San's sneer froze, and Li Ping was stunned. Because the ones who screamed were two brawny men. Lu Ming only grabbed the two brawny men's wrists, and the bones in their wrists were crushed. Ah, my hands. The two brawny men screamed. Boom, boom. Lu Ming's true qi gushed out and surged into the bodies of the two burly men. The two burly men snorted and flew far away. They fell heavily on the ground and were no longer breathing. Their internal organs had been shattered by Lu Ming. At this moment, Duan San reacted and screamed, Lu Ming, you've got guts. They're the Grand Elder's men. You dare to kill them? You're courting death. You're the one who's going to die. Lu Ming snorted coldly. He took a step forward and punched at Duan San. With a punch, true qi gushed out and completely enveloped Duan San. This true qi was too strong. Duan San felt as if he had fallen into an ice cellar. He couldn't use his strength as a martial warrior. He screamed hysterically, no. Bang. As soon as he said that, Lu Ming's fist landed on his stomach. Duan San screamed. His fat body was thrown out like a dead pig. He fell heavily on the ground, stirring up a cloud of dust. Lu Ming, you destroyed my cultivation. Miss Lu Yarrow and the Grand Elder won't let you go. Duan San screamed in despair. Is that so? Lu Ming walked to the front of Duan San and stepped on his leg forcefully. Crack. Duan San's leg bones were broken. Duan San screamed like a pig being slaughtered. Tears and snot flowed down his face. Lu Ming's eyes were cold. He stared at Duan San and said, just now, you said that you would break my limbs. Now, I will break your limbs. After saying that, he stepped on Duan San's other leg, breaking his bones. My leg. Lu Ming, no, young Master Ming, I beg you, spare me. All of this was ordered by the Grand Elder and Lu Chuan. How could I dare to disobey their orders? Duan San screamed in pain. The Grand Elder and Lu Chuan? Lu Ming's eyes were extremely cold. Then, he kicked Duan San's arms twice in a row. Then, he turned around and walked towards Li Ping and Autumn Moon. Ming, what's your cultivation? At this time, Li Ping looked at Lu Ming with tears in her eyes. Mother, I have had a fortuitous encounter during this period of time. I will tell you in detail later. Let's go to the martial arts practice field now. Lu Ming said. Li Ping's face changed. Ming, go to the martial arts practice field. The Grand Elder and Lu Yarrow are there. Don't be rash. Although Lu Ming's cultivation had improved greatly during this period of time, could he be Lu Yarrow's opponent? Not only did Lu Yarrow awaken a 5th-grade bloodline, but she also married into the Mystic Essence Sword sect's Duanmu family. She heard that the Duanmu family had sent a lot of precious elixirs during this period of time. During this period, Lu Yarrow had been cultivating in seclusion. She was naturally worried about Lu Ming. Lu Ming smiled confidently and said, "Mother, don't worry. Lu Yarrow can't take the patriarch of the Lu family away. No one can. It's father's. I will kill whoever wants to touch it. Madam, don't worry. Young master can definitely do it." Autumn Moon also said. Chapter 14. The Lu family's martial arts field was located on the east side of the Lu family mansion. It was huge and could easily accommodate 100,000 people. In the middle of the martial arts field, there was a huge platform that was 200 meters long and wide. It was made of steel and rock. On the north, east, and west of the martial arts field, there were majestic grandstands. The north grandstand was the main seat for the Lu family members. The east and west grandstands were for the other famous families in Firestorm City. At that moment, 7 white-haired old men were seated at the top of the main seats. These 7 old men were the 7 core elders of the Lu clan's elder compound. The core elders of the Lu clan's elder council were the most senior elders who were jointly elected by the Lu clan. In the end, the position was held by those who wholeheartedly served the Lu clan. Therefore, relatively speaking, it was the fairest position and would not be biased towards one branch. They put the Lu family's interests first. Further down the hall was the Lu clan's grand elder, Lu Yunxiong. Beside him was a 15-year-old girl in a snow-white dress. Her beauty was beyond compare. She was none other than Lu Yarrow. "Congratulations, Grand Elder Lu. I heard that your daughter is extremely talented and has awakened a level 5 bloodline. Her future is limitless." The Li family's patriarch, Li Fu, congratulated the Grand Elder. "You're welcome." The Grand Elder replied casually. Following that, some of Firestorm City's local families and famous figures walked over to congratulate the Grand Elder. The Grand Elder nodded casually in response. Roar! Roar! Suddenly, the roars of beasts could be heard from the street. It was as if thousands of beasts were charging at the same time. Soon, dozens of 2-meter-tall and 4-meter-long blood-red tigers appeared in front of the crowd. Sitting on top of each tiger was a figure wearing a fiery red robe. A powerful fiendish aura, as well as a scorching aura, filled the entire area. The red flaming tigers are from the White Tiger Hall, one of the 5 halls of the Mystic Essence Sword sect. "Are they from the Duanmu family?" the crowd exclaimed. "The White Tiger Hall sent people here. Are they here to recruit Lu Yarrow as their disciple?" someone guessed. The first elder stood up with a swoosh and walked down from the spectator stand. His face was filled with excitement as he cupped his fists and said, "The Mystic Essence Sword sect's White Tiger Hall has honored guests. I apologize for not going out to meet you. Haha, Grand Elder, you're too polite. I'm the deacon of the Mystic Essence Sword sect's White Tiger Hall, Duanmu Qing. I'm here to congratulate Lu Yarrow on taking charge of the Lu family and officially recruit her as a disciple of the White Tiger Hall." A red flaming tiger, a middle-aged man in red flaming tiger hall. "Emissary, you are too polite. Please take a seat," the first elder said with a beaming face. Duanmu Qing faintly smiled and brought 2 people off the Scarlet Flame Tiger to the main seat. The others stopped the Scarlet Flame Tiger on the side. "Looks like Lu Yarrow's talent is really terrifying. There are still 2 months before the Mystic Essence Sword sect officially recruits disciples. Normally, people would take the initiative to go to the Mystic Essence Sword sect and go through various tests. Only those who pass the tests can join the Mystic Essence Sword sect. Isn't that so? It's said that Lu Yarrow has caught the eye of a genius from the Mystic Essence Sword sect's Duanmu clan. Her future is limitless. The Lu family has a genius. She's even more talented than Lu Yuntian." All around, everyone was discussing excitedly. Caw. At this moment, a loud bird cry rang out in the sky. It was incomparably sharp and resounded through the sky. Even from far away, it could be heard clearly. The crowd involuntarily looked in that direction. Then, Their pupils involuntarily shrank. It was a gigantic goshawk. Its entire body was snow-white, and it was incomparably huge. When it spread its wings, it was at least 50 meters wide. Its claws were as sharp as knives and its eyes were sharp. When it looked at the crowd, they felt a chill down their spines. There were a few people on the eagle's back. Snowy Night Eagle. It's the Snowy Night Eagle from the Mystic Essence Sword Sect's Vermilion Bird Hall. Someone from the Vermilion Bird Hall is here too. The crowd exclaimed. I'm Liu Qian from the Mystic Essence Sword Sect's Vermilion Bird Hall. I'm here to represent the Vermilion Bird Hall to recruit Lu Yarrow as a disciple. On the snowy night, a young woman in her 30s with a graceful figure spoke up. Hiss! Suddenly, a giant flying snake flew over from afar. It was filled with a murderous aura. Ha ha, Duanmu Qing, Liu Qian, the White Tiger Hall and Vermilion Bird Hall are here quickly. Tai Zhong from the Azure Dragon Hall of the Mystic Essence Sword Sect would like to recruit Miss Lu Yarrow as a disciple. Gao Shi from the Black Tortoise Hall of the Mystic Essence Sword Sect would like to recruit Miss Lu Yarrow as a disciple. Following that, another voice sounded. The empire that Lu Ming was in was called the Burning Sun Empire. The Burning Sun Empire had a vast territory. Windy Fire City was only a small city in the vast Burning Sun Empire. There were no less than 10,000 cities in the Burning Sun Empire. There were 5 major sects in the Burning Sun Empire. These 5 sects were located in the north, south, east, and west of the Burning Sun Empire. They ruled the huge Burning Sun Empire. The Mystic Essence Sword Sect occupied the eastern part of the Burning Sun Empire. Firestorm City was located in the eastern part of the Burning Sun Empire. It was under the jurisdiction of the Mystic Essence Sword Sect. The Mystic Essence Sword Sect had 5 halls. They were the Azure Dragon, White Tiger, Black Tortoise, Vermilion Bird, and Chelene. The Duanmu clan was one of the major clans of the Mystic Essence Sword Sect's White Tiger Hall. Although they were from the same sect, the 5 halls would compete with each other. There was no lack of open and covert competition between the 5 halls. Therefore, when there was a genius, they would naturally want to recruit them to their respective halls. The arrival of 4 batches of people caused a commotion. Oh my god, 4 of the 5 halls of the Mystic Essence Sword Sect are here. They all want to recruit Miss Lu Yarrow as a disciple. This is unbelievable. Yeah, the Mystic Essence Sword Sect has almost 2,000 cities. The 5 halls rarely take the initiative to recruit someone as a disciple. This time, 4 halls have appeared. Amazing, amazing. The people around them were discussing excitedly. If the White Tiger Hall had sent people to recruit Lu Yarrow as a disciple, it would be fine because Lu Yarrow had a marriage alliance with the genius of the Duanmu clan. But now, the other 3 halls had sent people to recruit Lu Yarrow as a disciple. This could only mean that Lu Yarrow's talent was too good. It had alarmed the other halls. The fact that the 4 halls of the Mystic Essence Sword Sect wanted to recruit Lu Yarrow as a disciple made her shine even brighter. Emissaries, please take a seat. The first elder quickly invited the 3 halls to take a seat. He was smiling so widely that he could not close his mouth. He was truly overjoyed. He had expected the White Tiger Hall to come, but he had not expected the other 3 halls to come. Unknowingly, this had given him even more face. Yarrow, this is all because of you. The first elder clenched his fists and muttered to himself. He knew that the 4 halls had sent people here because of Lu Yarrow, his daughter. At this moment, he sighed. His 3 years of hard work had not been in vain. It was all worth it. Vermilion Bird Hall, Azure Dragon Hall, Black Tortoise Hall, what are you doing here? Lu Yarrow is from my White Tiger Hall. You want to recruit her? Duanmu Qing looked at the emissaries of the other 3 halls with an ugly expression. Haha, Duanmu Qing, I know that Lu Yarrow and Duanmu Lin of your White Tiger Hall have a marriage alliance. Even so, Miss Lu Yarrow doesn't have to choose the White Tiger Hall. She belongs to the Mystic Essence Sword Sect. It's the same if she chooses the other halls. It's just a matter of whether she's suitable or not. Tai Zhong of the Azure Dragon Hall laughed. Temph, I think you're going to make a wasted trip this time. Duanmu Qing snorted coldly. The first elder was even more excited. The Lu family gathering had not started yet and the 4 halls were already trying to recruit Lu Yaro. This made his face red with excitement. At this moment, a fragrant wind blew over. A graceful figure walked over and instantly attracted everyone's attention. Hall Master Mu, I didn't expect you to come too. Please take a seat. The first elder quickly welcomed her. The person who came was the Hall Master of the Spiritual Medicine Hall, Mulins. The Mystic Essence Sword Sect was behind the Spiritual Medicine Hall. The first elder naturally did not dare to be disrespectful. Martial Aunt Mu, you're here too. Liu Qian of the Vermilion Bird Courtyard hurriedly stepped forward and saluted. This made many people surprised. One after another, they guessed that Mulan's status in the Vermilion Bird Courtyard was not ordinary. Liu Qian was more than 30 years old, yet she still called Mulan martial uncle. Yes, I'm here to watch the show. Mulin smiled and sat down beside Liu Qian. Why is she here? The people of the other 3 halls were shocked. Chapter 15. At this moment, a middle-aged man in his 40s walked up to the platform in the middle of the arena. He was the head of the second branch of the Lu clan, and also the second elder of the Lu clan, Lu Yunfeng. It's our great honor to have the Mystic Essence Sword Sect's emissaries here for today's clan meeting. Lu Yunfeng started off with a series of pleasantries. Then, he changed the topic and said, therefore, the young disciples of the Lu clan must perform well today. Show me what you've got. Who knows? Maybe you'll be recommended into the Mystic Essence Sword Sect. As soon as Lu Yunfeng finished speaking, the young disciples of the Lu clan started to breathe heavily. They rubbed their palms together and were ready to fight. Normally, the Mystic Essence Sword Sect would only start recruiting disciples 2 months later. However, at that time, the geniuses from almost 2,000 cities in the east of the Sun Empire would compete together. The chances of success were too low. However, if they were chosen by the emissaries and were recommended to join the Mystic Essence Sword Sect, they would definitely soar. On the main seat, the emissaries smiled and did not refute. This made the eyes of the young disciples of the Lu clan even brighter. Seeing that he had achieved his goal, Lu Yunfeng's face lit up. He started to announce, all right, the clan meeting will now officially begin. This time, the clan meeting will be divided into 3 steps. The first step is to test your perseverance, the second step is to check your pulse, and the third step is to compete. As everyone knows, the path of martial arts is filled with hardships and tribulations. So without a strong willpower, it's impossible to walk far. Now, all of you who want to participate in the clan meeting, come up and take the first step, climb the stairway of flames. As soon as he finished speaking, the young disciples of the Lu clan all walked up to the platform. These were the young disciples of the Lu clan. There were both males and females, but none of them were over 18 years old. At this moment, Lu Yaro stood up on the main platform. Instantly, everyone's eyes were on her. Lu Yaro was wearing a long white dress. Her body was slim and her skin was as white as jade. Coupled with her beautiful face, she was like a fairy that had walked out of a painting. Some busybodies once called Lu Yaro the #1 beauty of Firestorm City. It was not an exaggeration. She walked gracefully towards the main stage, towards the middle of the martial arts practice field. Peerless beauty, many people exclaimed. Not only was Lu Yaro's beauty outstanding, her talent was also unparalleled. I heard that before Lu Yaro awakened her bloodline, she had already opened 9 meridians. After awakening her 5th rank bloodline, she immediately opened a divine meridian. Now she's even more unfathomable. If I could marry such a heavenly genius, I would have no regrets in my life. I heard that Lu Yaro has already married the peerless genius of the White Tiger Hall's Duanmu clan, Duanmu Lin. Perhaps only a genius like Duanmu Lin is worthy of Lu Yaro. I heard that Lu Ming and Lu Yaro from the main bloodline of the Lu family were very close. I thought they were a couple. How can that trash be worthy of Miss Lu Yaro? That's like a fresh flower stuck in a pile of cow dung. Fortunately, they didn't end up together. Otherwise, the heavens would be too unfair. Many people were discussing. In the crowd, Lu Ming heard this and smiled faintly. He would shut these people up soon. After a while, Lu Yaro stepped onto the battle stage. Just by standing there casually, the other disciples of the Lu clan beside her paled in comparison. On the main stage, the envoys of the 4 great academies all looked at Lu Yao. After all, they were all here for Lu Yao. At this moment, more than 30 young men and women from the 7 bloodlines of the Lu clan had already stepped onto the battle stage. Is there anyone else? The second elder asked loudly. At this moment, a figure walked out from the crowd and walked towards the battle stage step by step. Lu Ming. Seeing this figure, many people were stunned. Isn't that the trash from the main bloodline of the Lu clan, Lu Ming? Why? Is he also participating in the Lu clan meetings test? Many people were surprised. On the main seat, the first elder's eyes turned cold. He didn't expect Lu Ming to really dare to come. The 7 core elders of the Lu clan sitting at the top were also curious and surprised. Ming-er. In the crowd, Li Ping and Qiu Moon held hands tightly. In the battle stage, Lu Yaro looked at Lu Ming and frowned. Lu Ming, why are you here? You shouldn't be here. Get down. Lu Ming didn't say anything. He just looked at Lu Yaro. This was the first time Lu Ming saw Lu Yaro after his bloodline was taken away. However, the woman in front of him, who used to be deeply in love with him, could no longer make him feel the slightest bit of warmth. There was only coldness in his eyes. Seeing Lu Ming's expression, Lu Yaro shook her head and said, Lu Ming, I know that as the successor of the main bloodline, you feel indignant that I have to inherit the position of the family head. However, you should be clear of your own qualifications. The position of the family head belongs to the capable. You and I are too far apart. There is an insurmountable gap between us. You and I are destined to be from different worlds. My world has just begun. You are destined to be mediocre. Everything about you is over. Is that so? You are really confident. However, you are right about one thing. We are indeed from different worlds. Lu Ming smiled faintly. Then, he stood aside and ignored Lu Yao. He didn't come here to waste his breath. He came here today to speak with his actions. Lu Ming. On the main stage, the Great Elder shouted coldly. Lu Ming turned around and looked at the Great Elder. He wanted to see what this old man had to say. Lu Ming, you were born weak and sickly. You can't condense your true energy. Yao is kind. She accompanied you every day because you are the successor of the main bloodline. She encouraged you and wanted you to be motivated. If you could awaken your father's bloodline, you could also inherit the patriarch position. Unfortunately, you can't even awaken your bloodline. Naturally, you can't inherit the patriarch position. Yao just awakened her 5th grade bloodline. She also received the favor of the Duanmu clan's genius, who wants to marry her. Yet you harbor hatred in your heart. Not only do you not care about Yao-er's kindness to you, you also have improper thoughts about her. You even want to destroy the marriage between Yao-er and the Duanmu clan. You are simply despicable. Fine. Since you are the successor of the main bloodline and Brother Yuntian's only son, I can let bygones be bygones. Now, get down. The Great Elder said indifferently. What? This Lu Ming is actually so despicable. Miss Lu Yaro accompanied him for several years in order to take care of him. How could he be so deranged as to bite the hand that feeds him? Despicable. No wonder this trash is trash. When the surrounding people heard the Great Elder's words, they all glared at Lu Ming. Lu Yunxiong, you. Don't talk nonsense. In the crowd, Li Ping was trembling with anger. She pointed at the Great Elder and shouted, Mother, there is no need to fight with such a person. Lu Ming said to Li Ping. The Great Elder was simply despicable. Obviously, they were the ones who were despicable and shameless. They had schemed against Lu Ming for 3 years and seized his bloodline. But now, they were twisting the truth and slandering Lu Ming for having ill intentions toward Lu Yao. They even said that he wanted to destroy the marriage alliance between Lu Yao and the Duanmu family. Lu Ming was too lazy to say anything to such a person. The truth would be revealed soon. How could there be such a person? This is simply despicable. Such a trash who can't even awaken his bloodline. What's the point of letting him stay on the stage? Get off the stage. Duanmu Qing harumphed coldly. Who do you think you are? What does the Lu clan's meeting have to do with you? Lu Ming gave Duanmu Qing a sideways glance, not giving him any face. How dare you? Do you know who I am? Duanmu Qing was enraged. He stood up with cold killing intent. Lu Ming, you trash. How dare you offend the Mystic Essence Sword Sect's White Tiger Clan's envoy? The Great Elder also pointed at Lu Ming and shouted. What does it have to do with me? Lu Yunxiong, today is the Lu clan's meeting. Are you trying to help an outsider against me, the successor of the Lu clan's main bloodline? Do you think the core elders are just decorations? Lu Ming gave Duanmu Qing and the Great Elder a sideways glance. His words were clear and loud. The surrounding people were dumbfounded. Lu Ming was too bold. How dare he offend the Mystic Essence Sword Sect's envoy? You! The Great Elder's face turned red. Yunxiong, Duanmu Qing, since Lu Ming is young and ignorant, let's forget about this matter. As expected, one of the core elders of the Lu clan spoke. They would not side with anyone and would only protect the interests of the Lu clan. They would even protect the interests of the main bloodline. Otherwise, they would not have spent so much resources to help Lu Ming awaken his bloodline. That's right, Duanmu Qing. Why are you arguing with a junior? Don't you think it's embarrassing? Mulins glanced at Duanmu Qing and said indifferently. Humph. Duanmu Qing harumphed coldly. However, he seemed to be afraid of Mulins. He did not say anything and sat down with an ugly expression. The Great Elder also sat down with a pale face. Lu Ming, let's see how you will die when Yaoer takes over the Lu clan. The Great Elder's eyes were gloomy. All right, the Lu clan did not say that those who have not awakened their bloodline cannot participate in the meeting. Lu Ming can participate. Let's begin. Chapter 16. All right, let's begin the test of perseverance, Lu Yunfeng announced. On the left side of the platform, there was a staircase made of jade. There were a total of 9 steps, and that was the staircase of flames. The Lu family had spent a large sum of money to hire an inscription master to refine it. There were strange inscriptions carved on it, and it was very mysterious. As long as one walked up, the inscriptions on the staircase would be activated and emit a scorching aura that enveloped the person who walked up. When one was on the staircase, it was as if one was in flames and had to endure the pain and torture of being burned by the flames. Even though it was not real flames, it was no different from being in real flames. Moreover, each of the 9 staircases was hotter than the last. The test this time was to see who could spend the longest time at the top of the stairs and who could climb the highest step. The higher the staircase, the longer the duration, the stronger the willpower. I'll go first. A disciple of the Lu family who was about 16 years old was the first to walk up the staircase of flames. When he stepped on the staircase, the entire staircase of flames immediately shone brightly. It flickered with a fiery red light. The young man's expression changed drastically, and he seemed to be in pain. However, he gritted his teeth and took another step onto the second staircase. Then, he stepped onto the third. When he reached there, he stopped and began to resist the pain of being burned by the flames. However, in just 10 breaths, his body began to tremble, and his face turned pale. His expression was ferocious. It was obvious that he was in great pain. After another 10 breaths of time, he let out a loud cry. He could no longer resist and jumped down the stairway of flames. Lu Li, 3rd staircase, 20 breaths. Lu Yunfeng announced. Following that, the disciples of the Lu family went up one by one to take the test. However, most of them were on the 3rd and 4th staircases. They only lasted for about 20 to 30 breaths. Let me try. Lu Chuan walked out and glanced at Lu Ming. He sneered and stepped onto the staircase. He was very fast and did not stop at all. He directly stepped onto the 5th staircase. Then, he stopped on the 5th staircase and stayed there for a total of 52 breaths. That made everyone exclaim in surprise. Millimeter, as expected of Lu Yaro's brother. Her talent is unparalleled, and her brother is not bad either. He can actually stay on the 5th staircase for 52 breaths. Duanmu Qing praised. Ha ha, you flatter me, emissary Duanmu. The Grand Elder laughed loudly. Lu Chuan smiled smugly. Afterward, the test continued. Quite a few people had pretty good willpower, and 2 of them were not weaker than Lu Chuan. One of them stayed on the 5th step for 52 breaths, while the other stayed on the 5th step for 55 breaths. However, no one dared to step onto the 6th step. Soon, only Lu Yarrow and Lu Ming were left on the platform. Lu Yarrow glanced at Lu Ming and walked towards the stairway of flames. At this moment, everyone's eyes were focused on Lu Yarrow. Lu Yarrow had too many halos around her. Everyone wanted to see how strong her willpower was. Even if one's talent was high, one's willpower might not be strong. Lu Yarrow lifted her foot and stepped onto the 1st step. Then, she stepped onto the 2nd step. One step after another, he did not stop at all. In one breath, he reached the 6th step. The 6th step. He had already surpassed all the previous people. Everyone held their breaths and watched seriously. However, Lu Yarrow did not stop. She took another step and stepped onto the 7th step. Lu Yarrow actually managed to reach the 7th step. How amazing! Let's see how long she can last. Everyone guessed. But soon, they got the answer. 86 breaths. Lu Yarrow stayed on the 7th step for a full 86 breaths of time before she jumped down. Amazing, really amazing. I didn't expect Lu Yarrow to not only be talented, but also have such strong willpower. She's really a genius. Isn't that so? That's the 7th step. The previous steps can't be compared to it. Everyone was talking about it. Lu Yarrow looked calm as if she had done something insignificant. She turned around and walked to the side. When she walked past Lu Ming, there was contempt in her eyes. Did you see that? That's the difference between you and me. Her soft voice echoed in Lu Ming's ears. Is that so? You have to remember this. Lu Ming's lips curled into a cold smile as he walked toward the stairs of flames. You're overestimating yourself. The Grand Elder sneered. How many steps do you think Lu Ming can reach? On the platform, Lu Chuan smiled and asked the other young people. In my opinion, he can reach the 2nd step at most. I don't think he can last more than 10 breaths on the 2nd step. The other young people laughed. However, as soon as they finished speaking, the smiles on their faces froze and they couldn't help but widen their eyes. At that moment, Lu Ming had already reached the 3rd step. However, he didn't seem to have any intention of stopping. He continued on to the 4th step. Then, it was the 5th step, the 6th step. When Lu Ming reached the 7th step, he still didn't stop. He took another step and reached the 8th step. However, that wasn't the end of Lu Ming's journey. At that moment, he lifted his foot and took another step. Everyone's hearts seemed to be in suspense when Lu Ming took that step. Then, they fell heavily when Lu Ming stepped on the 9th step. Then, there was a violent uproar. God, Lu Ming actually stepped on the 9th step. Is there a mistake? So what if he steps on it? Whether he can hold on or not is the most important thing. If he can't hold on and comes down in less than a breath, that'll be embarrassing. The Grand Elder said coldly, he's overestimating himself. It'll be fun if he can't bear the pain and his mind collapses. He'll become an idiot. Ming young master. Below the platform, Li Ping and Chiu Autumn Moon clenched their fists. They were sweating and their eyes were filled with worry. However, slowly, the discussion on the platform became softer. That was because 10 breaths had passed. Lu Ming actually stood on the 9th step for 10 breaths and didn't come down. Obviously, 10 breaths was just the beginning. Time passed slowly. 20 breaths, 30 breaths, soon, more than 100 breaths had passed. However, Lu Ming was still on the platform. He was tall and slender, standing on the 9th step like a sharp sword. The entire place was silent. I think his mind has collapsed. Could he have died on the platform? The Grand Elder said coldly. However, at that moment, Lu Ming smiled and said, Lu Yarrow, you're right. This is the difference between you and me. His words were like a slap to the Grand Elder's face. It was also a slap to Lu Yarrow's face. Lu Yarrow was the one who said this to Lu Ming earlier. Now, Lu Ming returned the words to her with the truth. Lu Yarrow looked at Lu Ming on the fiery steps and her eyes flickered. However, she soon calmed down and said, Lu Ming, you've been a piece of trash your whole life and have been looked down upon by others. However, you've trained your mind well and you're quite resilient. However, on the path of martial arts, willpower is only the foundation. Talent is the most important. Now, I'll show you the true difference between us. Everyone was enlightened after hearing those words. It made sense. Lu Ming was a piece of trash and had been mocked for years. It was normal for him to have a firm mind. I see. Duanmu Qing sneered. Is that really the case? A strange smile appeared on Mulin's face. She was looking forward to seeing the expressions of Duanmu Qing and the Grand Elder when they saw Lu Ming's performance. On the stairs, Lu Ming's gaze was calm. He smiled faintly and walked down the fiery steps as if he was taking a stroll. All right, the first round is over. Let's begin the second round. Take your pulse and bring them up to the altar. The second elder announced. Chapter 17. It was easy to check one's pulse. One only needed to place one's palm on the altar and infuse one's true qi into it. The altar would react. The altar would estimate one's potential based on the density of one's true qi, the density of one's acupoints, and the toughness of one's meridians. Stars would light up accordingly. The greater the potential, the more stars there would be. The highest was 9 stars. Above the 9 stars was a rainbow. Only when one's divine meridians were unlocked would a rainbow appear. A rainbow would appear when a divine meridian was unlocked. All right, let's begin, the second elder announced. One by one, the young men and women stepped forward. Most of them had 4 stars, 5 stars, and so on. It was only when Lu Chuan stepped forward that 7 stars lit up on the altar. Millimeter, 7 stars. That's not bad. He can join the Mystic Essence Sword sect. Duanmu Qing nodded. Not bad. With such talent, he can pass all the tests in the Mystic Essence Sword sect and become a disciple of the sect. Tai Zhong from the Azure Dragon Institute said. The pulse examination continued. Following which, 2 7-star potential patients appeared. There was even an 8-star potential patient. This caused a wave of exclamations. Those who had 7 stars had more than just unlocked 9 meridians. Even the first divine meridian had unlocked a few major acupoints. It was not difficult for many geniuses to reach the pinnacle of the meridian opening realm. However, after reaching the pinnacle of the meridian opening realm, they would stop for a long time to unlock their divine meridian. Many people could not unlock a complete divine meridian, but unlocking a few major acupoints on the divine meridian would increase their potential. Every time a major acupoint was unlocked, one's potential would increase. However, none of the disciples of the Lu clan had unlocked a complete divine meridian. Soon, only Lu Yarrow and Lu Ming were left. Lu Ming, open your eyes wide and take a good look. Look at our potential and see how big the difference is. Lu Yarrow glanced at Lu Ming nonchalantly and walked toward the altar. Everyone's attention was focused on Lu Yarrow again. Lu Yarrow had awakened a level 5 bloodline. They had heard that she had unlocked a divine meridian. After that, she went into seclusion for 2 months. What level would she be at now? Everyone was looking forward to it. As for Lu Ming, he was just a good-for-nothing with a decent willpower, so no one took him seriously. Lu Yarrow stretched out her jade-like hand and placed it on the altar. A fiery red true qi was injected into the altar. Wang. The altar shook. Then, 1 star after another began to condense in the sky above it. 1, 2, soon, the number of stars on the altar reached 6. But it didn't stop. Immediately, the 7th star was formed, followed by the 8th, the 9th. When the 9 stars gathered together, they formed a long rainbow that soared into the sky. Rainbow pierces the sun. This represented a complete divine vein. However, that wasn't the end. Following that, a second streak of light soared into the sky. At the same time, specks of light began to shine from Lu Yarrow's body. That was the acupoint that she had opened. All 81 major acupoints lit up, then 82, 83. In the end, A total of 99 light spots shone out. The 99 light dots represented that Lu Yarrow had opened 99 major acupoints and 2 divine veins. Everyone in the spectator stand stood up and looked at Lu Yarrow in shock, including the 7 core elders of the Lu family and the envoys of the Mystic Essence Sword sect. Even Mulan's eyes were filled with amazement. Lu Yarrow stood in front of the altar in a snow-white dress. 99 light spots shone on her body. On the altar, 2 streaks of light pierced the sun. She looked like a fairy that had descended from the heavens. She was elegant, pure, and pure. Not far away, Lu Ming seemed very small and insignificant. Ha ha ha. The first elder couldn't help but laugh. Monster, she's really a monster. With Lu Yarrow in the Lu family, they're going to soar in the future. No other force in Firestorm City can compete with them. That's right, such a monster. No wonder the peerless genius of the Duanmu family is engaged to Lu Yarrow. I heard that Duanmu Lin has also opened 2 divine veins. With the 2 of them working together, they're a perfect match. Firestorm City will have another story to tell. No wonder the 7 core elders of the Lu family let Lu Yarrow take charge of the Lu family. It's a pity that such a genius doesn't take charge of the Lu family. If it were me, I would have already given up the position of patriarch. Of course. I heard that she has opened 2 divine veins and has the potential to become a martial king. How terrifying. Could it be that Firestorm City will give birth to a martial king in the future? Around them, some of the small families and forces in Firestorm City were discussing. Miss Lu Yarrow, if you join the Black Tortoise Institute, we're willing to provide you with Earth-level cultivation techniques and Earth-level martial skills. You'll be promoted to a silver disciple. Gao Shi from the Black Tortoise Institute stood up excitedly and threw an olive branch to Lu Yarrow. Miss Lu Yarrow, if you join the Everdragon Institute, not only will we provide you with Earth-level cultivation techniques and martial skills, you'll be promoted to a silver disciple. We'll also find a silver-gowned elder to be your master and teach you how to cultivate. Tai Zhong from the Everdragon Institute did not want to be left behind. He threw out an even more attractive offer. What are you doing? Miss Lu Yarrow is already married to a genius from the White Tiger Institute. She should join the White Tiger Institute. Furthermore, the offer from the White Tiger Institute will definitely be better than yours. Duanmu Qing looked at Gao Shi and Tai Zhong unhappily and said loudly. She had opened 2 divine veins with a rank 5 bloodline. She had the potential to become a martial king in the future. Although it was only a possibility, such a genius was worthy of being nurtured by a sect. Naturally, they would want to recruit her into their own institute. Miss Lu Yarrow, Liu Qian from the Vermilion Bird Institute was about to speak, but she was stopped by Mulins. Wait, let's see. Mulins had a strange smile on her face. Martial Uncle Mu. Liu Qian was a little anxious. If she didn't open her mouth at this time and didn't offer any conditions, Lu Yarrow's chances of choosing the Vermilion Bird Courtyard would be very slim. She didn't know why Mulan wanted to stop her, but Mulan's identity was no small matter. Since she had spoken, Liu Qian was helpless and could only watch anxiously. The surrounding crowd gasped and revealed an extremely envious expression at the same time. For the sake of a single person, several great academies had offered generous terms. How glorious was this? If it were them, they would wake up laughing in their dreams. At that instant, Lu Yarrow withdrew her qi. The 2 rays of light disappeared together with the light dots on her body. She walked toward Lu Ming and said, Lu Ming, do you see it now? The difference between you and me is like the distance between the heavens and the earth. We will never cross paths. Do you still have the courage to challenge me now? After saying this, Lu Yarrow was about to leave the ring. You only opened 2 divine veins, is that impressive? Lu Ming's disdainful voice could be heard. What? Lu Yarrow paused and turned around. Lu Ming strode to the front of the altar. Haha, Lu Ming, you were born with a weak body and blocked meridians. Now you want to check your pulse? Aren't you afraid of embarrassing yourself? Lu Chuan sneered. Haha, Lu Ming is right. Lu Ming, you should go down. You have participated in the first round and your willpower is good enough. You don't need to continue. Later, you will not be the only one who will lose face, but the whole Lu families. On the main stage, the Great Elder also spoke. Lu Yunxiong, as the Great Elder, you repeatedly obstructed Junior from taking the test. I think you are the one who will lose face. Lu Ming retorted. Lu Ming, how dare you talk to me like this? You are offending your superior. The First Elder's embarrassment turned into anger as he berated loudly. However, Lu Ming turned around and didn't bother to look at him. Then, Lu Ming pressed his hand on the altar and injected true qi. Above the altar, a light shone and a star appeared. Lu Ming, this trash. Did he cultivate true qi? He can actually form a star? Lu Chuan's eyes widened in surprise. Lu Yaro's beautiful eyes flickered. She was also surprised. This guy defeated me with a punch last time. I am afraid he is not that simple. Lu Bing, who was beside Lu Chuan, looked at him seriously. Just then, the light shone again on the altar and another star appeared. However, this was only the beginning. Following that, more and more stars began to condense on the altar. 2, 3, 8, 9, soon, 9 stars appeared above the altar. How can this be? Isn't Lu Ming a trash with blocked meridians? How can he cultivate true qi? Gosh, he can really cultivate true qi and he has 9 stars. 9 stars is already very shocking. Other than Lu Yaro, no one in the Lu family has the potential to cultivate true qi. On the stage, Lu Yaro's eyes narrowed. She was in disbelief. Lu Ming's bloodline was taken away by her. How could he cultivate true qi and have the potential to cultivate true qi? She couldn't figure it out. Lu Yao, can't you figure it out? Speaking of which, it is all thanks to you. Lu Ming said to Lu Yaro. It is just 9 stars. It is nothing in front of a real genius. Lu Yaro calmed down quickly and said disdainfully. Is that so? What about this? Chapter 18. The 9 stars above the altar gathered together and a rainbow shot up into the sky. Rainbow piercing the sun appeared again. Involuntarily, everyone on the scene stood up one by one. Ming-er, Ming-er. In the crowd, Li Ping and Qiu Autumn Moon clenched their fists and trembled with tears in their eyes. Previously, she only knew that Lu Ming could cultivate true qi, but she never expected that Lu Ming had such great potential. All of a sudden, she felt that all the hardships she had suffered over the years had not been in vain. All the tiredness she had endured had not been in vain. Impossible. This is impossible. On the main stage, the First Elder exclaimed. How could this be? On the other side, Li Fu's eyes almost popped out. This is impossible. Then let's continue. Lu Ming smiled faintly. Buzz. Buzz. The altar shook twice, and 2 rainbows shot up into the sky. At the same time, light spots lit up on Lu Ming's body one after another. 81, 90, 99, and finally, 108. Silence. Complete silence. The crowd suddenly quieted down. Even the sound of breathing could not be heard. It was as if everyone had forgotten to breathe at this moment. There was only a gentle breeze that brought a little sound. Everyone stared at Lu Ming in a daze. Their eyes almost popped out of their sockets and their mouths were so wide open that a duck egg could be stuffed in. 3 rainbows meant that all 108 meridians had been opened. This meant that Lu Ming had opened 3 divine meridians. The difference between opening 2 divine meridians and opening 3 divine meridians was only 1 divine meridians. However, the difference between the 2 was like heaven and earth. 3 divine meridians meant perfection. In the Burning Sun Empire, although not many people could open 2 divine meridians in each generation, there were always some. However, there were very few people who could open 3 divine meridians. Sometimes, there might not even be one in a generation. At this moment, Lu Yaro's 2 divine meridians paled in comparison to Lu Ming's 3 sky meridians. One was perfection, and the other was imperfection. There was no comparison. Yuntian, did you see that? Our Ming-er has finally grown up. Li Ping looked at Lu Ming's tenacious figure as tears streamed down her face. The sleeping lion has awakened. A genius has been born, Mullins said softly. At the side, Liu Qian opened her eyes wide. At this moment, she suddenly realized why Mullins stopped her from inviting Lu Yao. It turned out that it was because of this person, Lu Ming. On the main stage, the 7 core elders were trembling as they looked at Lu Ming. Young master, the young master has actually opened 3 divine veins. The heavens have eyes. One of the white-haired core elders even shed tears. No, this is impossible. How can he open 3 divine veins without a bloodline? The great elder roared, unable to accept this reality. Impossible. Lu Ming, impossible. You trash, how is this possible? Lu Yao couldn't bear it anymore and screamed. Lu Ming, do you see it now? The difference between you and me is like heaven and earth. We will never cross paths. Do you still have the courage to challenge me now? This was what she said to Lu Ming just now. But now, it was so funny. It was like 2 tight slaps on her face. Nothing is impossible. Lu Yao, let me tell you. Your so-called talent, your so-called reliance, is just a joke in my eyes. Lu Ming looked at Lu Yao. This woman that he once loved deeply had no feelings for her now. Lu Ming, what are you so proud of? You're just trash who can't awaken your bloodline. I don't know what kind of opportunity you had to open 3 divine veins, but it's a fact that you can't awaken your bloodline. Ha ha ha. Lu Yao screamed hysterically. Lu Yao, your current appearance truly resembles that of a shrew cursing on the streets. Right now, I formally challenge you to a duel. If you lose, you can scram out of the Lu clan. The 108 light spots on Lu Ming's body were extremely dazzling. His eyes were shining with cold battle intent. His voice resounded throughout the area. Lu Ming's willpower test and pulse examination had shocked everyone. Now, he wanted to challenge Lu Yao, which shocked everyone once again. Lu Yao, do you dare to fight with me? Lu Ming stared at Lu Yao with bright eyes. Alright, Lu Ming, I'll fight with you. I want everyone to understand that you were merely lucky and had a fortuitous encounter that allowed you to unlock 3 divine meridians. However, a martial artist's combat skills and martial arts techniques depend on talent and comprehension. I'll show you your true colors now and let everyone know that you're still a good-for-nothing in front of me. Lu Yao seemed to have calmed down and regained her confidence. So what if you have a strong willpower? So what if you've opened 3 divine veins? A martial artist's strength ultimately depended on their fighting strength. She wanted to completely trample on Lu Ming's dignity with her fighting strength and make him unable to recover from this setback. The surrounding crowd's eyes flickered thoughtfully. This was also the reason why the Mystic Essence Sword Sect's great sects didn't invite Lu Ming after he had shown great talent in the first 2 tests. Firstly, Lu Ming's bloodline couldn't be awakened. Secondly, opening the meridians could indeed rely on external forces, but it couldn't decide everything. Therefore, in their hearts, Lu Yao was naturally more important. You're talking so much nonsense. Be careful that you don't end up slapping your own face. Lu Ming looked at Lu Yao and replied indifferently. Lu Ming, don't be so arrogant. My sister doesn't need to deal with you. I'll teach you a lesson. On the platform, Lu Chuan strode forward and stood in front of Lu Ming. Lu Ming sneered and said, Lu Chuan, even if you didn't look for me, I would have looked for you. Now, I'll deal with you first. It's the same. Ha ha ha, Lu Ming, you're really arrogant now. But let me tell you, fighting on the platform isn't child's play. There will be blood. If I accidentally cripple you or even kill you, don't blame me then. Lu Chuan sneered and looked at Lu Yunfeng and the main seat. Chuan, you're right. Fighting isn't child's play. Since we're going to fight, there will naturally be injuries. It's inevitable. Go ahead, the first elder said loudly with a cold light in his eyes. The 7 core elders looked at each other and nodded. They didn't object. Seeing this, Lu Yunfeng announced, All right, since the 2nd round is over, let's enter the 3rd round. Try your best, but don't harm your lives. Lu Chuan smiled proudly and said, Lu Ming, it's too late for you to regret now. Lu Ming smiled meaningfully and said, Is that so? Lu Ming, how many moves do you think you can take from me? 1 move or 2? Lu Chuan mocked. 1 move. Lu Ming said indifferently. Ha ha ha, you know your limits. You know you can only take 1 move from me. Lu Chuan laughed. No, I mean, I'll defeat you in 1 move. Lu Ming said indifferently. Defeat Lu Chuan in 1 move? The audience was in an uproar. They looked at Lu Ming as if he was crazy. 1 move, Lu Ming said he could defeat Lu Chuan in 1 move. Was he crazy? One must know that Lu Chuan had awakened a rank 2 bloodline and had even reached the 3rd rank of the martial warrior realm. Even if Lu Ming had opened 3 divine veins, he wouldn't be Lu Chuan's opponent, let alone in 1 move. Defeat me in 1 move? Lu Bing's face darkened and his eyes flashed with killing intent. He said, Lu Ming, if I don't cripple you today, my name isn't Lu Chuan. Boom. Lu Chuan's aura erupted and his body shone with light. The aura of a 3rd-grade martial warrior was undoubtedly revealed. Lu Ming, die. Lu Chuan hollered and took the initiative to attack. He punched Lu Ming. He wanted to cripple Lu Ming in 1 move. Chapter 19. Just as Lu Bing was about to close in on Lu Ming took a step forward. The floor rumbled as a powerful aura burst out from Lu Ming's body. Boom. Lu Ming also threw out a punch, but this punch was faster than Lu Chuan's. It was as fast as lightning. Bang! Lu Ming's fist landed squarely on Lu Chuan's dantian, and a violent force gushed out. Bang! Lu Bing was instantly sent flying 4 to 5 meters away. He landed heavily on the ground, and blood spurted out from his mouth. Ah! My dantian, my cultivation. Lu Ming, you actually crippled my cultivation. Following that, Lu Chuan let out a blood-curdling scream. Silence. The scene was silent, and everyone's gaze was fixed on this moment. Lu Ming crippled Lu Chuan in 1 move? Unbelievable. Boom. On the main seat, the first elder suddenly stood up, and a cold murderous aura burst out. He stared at Lu Ming with a ferocious expression and roared, Lu Ming, you bastard, what did you do? What did you do? How dare you cripple Chuan Er's cultivation? I'm going to grind your bones to dust. After saying that, the first elder jumped down from the main seat and pounced on Lu Ming like a cannonball. Lu Yunxiong, what are you trying to do? On the stage, Lu Yunfeng's eyes turned cold. He threw out a palm and exchanged a blow with the first elder. Lu Yunfeng's body trembled, and he retreated 5 steps. On the other hand, the first elder only retreated 3 steps. Lu Yunfeng, you dare to stop me? The first elder roared. Lu Yunxiong, this is the clan meeting. What are you trying to do? Are you going against the clan rules? Lu Yunfeng did not back down. The first elder and second elder had always been at odds. The conflict between the 2 factions had been going on for a long time. Lu Yunfeng naturally wouldn't let the first elder have his way so easily. Lu Yunxiong, stand down. On the main seat, a core elder shouted. The first elder's face was incomparably ferocious as he said to the core elders, Elders, look. Lu Ming is so vicious. He actually crippled Chuan Er's cultivation. We must punish him severely. Severe punishment. Lu Yunxiong, are you here to be funny? Lu Ming sneered and said, just now, it was Lu Chuan who wanted to cripple my cultivation first. Don't tell me I can't fight back. Moreover, injuries are inevitable in a martial arts competition. You said it yourself. What the fuck are you talking about? Little bastard, what did you say? The great elder was so angry that the muscles on his face were trembling. You what? Hurry up and take your useless son away. Lu Ming berated. Too savage, too overbearing. Lu Ming actually dared to berate the first elder in front of so many people. He was simply audacious. But this was something he did on purpose. He knew that with so many people watching, the core elders of the elder compound would definitely not allow the first elder to act recklessly. Moreover, his current performance had most likely caught the attention of the Mystic Essence Sword Sect's emissaries. Even if the first elder really wanted to do something to him, the emissaries of the other compounds might not agree. Therefore, Lu Ming was unscrupulous. The first elder was so angry that he almost vomited blood. In the end, he had no choice but to take the crippled Lu Chuan down the platform. "Little bastard, after the clan meeting, I'll tear you and your mother into pieces." The first elder roared in his heart, not hiding the murderous intent in his eyes. Lu Ming turned around and looked at Lu Yarrow. He said indifferently, "Now, it's your turn." Lu Yarrow frowned and did not say anything, but her eyes were extremely gloomy. Lu Ming's combat strength was beyond her expectations. She suddenly had a feeling that today's matter was somewhat out of her control. The two of them looked at each other and a battle was about to break out. Around the martial arts practice field, everyone's eyes were fixed on the two people on the platform. Lu Yarrow had awakened a level 5 bloodline and opened 2 divine veins at the age of 15. The Mystic Essence Sword Sect's 4 compounds had come for her. She had too many halos on her. It was not an exaggeration to say that she was the first in the history of Firestorm City. As for Lu Ming, he used to be the trash of the Lu clan, but today, he had repeatedly shocked everyone. Testing his will, climbing the steps of flames as if he was taking a stroll in the park, and even opening 3 divine veins. It could be said that this was the first time in the history of Firestorm City. Just a moment ago, he had defeated Lu Chuan in one move, which shocked everyone. The two of them were finally going to fight. Who would win? Everyone stared at them without blinking, including the emissaries of the 4 compounds and the 7 core elders of the Lu clan. The first elder's eyes were wide open, and murderous intent flickered in his eyes. Whoosh! On the platform, Lu Yarrow made the first move. Her figure moved like a graceful swan as she rushed towards Lu Ming. Her jade-like palm emitted a fiery red light as she struck towards Lu Ming. Boom! Lu Ming twisted his waist and punched out with the flame dragon fist. Bang! The fist and the palm collided, and a powerful force shot out in all directions. Lu Ming and Lu Yarrow's bodies trembled as they took 3 steps back. They were evenly matched in the first move. 4th layer martial warrior. It seems that the Duanmu clan has given Lu Yarrow a lot of resources in the past 2 months. As soon as they exchanged blows, Lu Ming sensed Lu Yarrow's cultivation. 4th layer martial warrior. In just 2 months, Lu Yarrow's cultivation had soared to the 4th layer martial warrior. In addition to her 5th level bloodline talent, the resources given by the Duanmu clan were definitely not small. But at this moment, Lu Yarrow was even more shocked because she realized that Lu Ming's cultivation was at the 3rd layer martial warrior. In just 2 months, Lu Ming went from a trash who couldn't condense his true chi to the 3rd layer martial warrior. It was unbelievable. "No, I want to crush him," Lu Yarrow roared in her heart. With a clang, she unsheathed her sword. The sword turned into a ray of light and pierced toward Lu Ming. Lu clan's low-grade yellow-level martial technique, startling rainbow sword art. "Lu Yarrow, it's a pity that you haven't mastered it yet." Lu Ming's indifferent voice rang out. He took a step forward and dodged Lu Yarrow's sword. Then, he punched out again. The fist whistled and went straight for Lu Yarrow's face. Lu Yarrow had no choice but to turn around and defend. Boom! Boom! Lu Ming punched out continuously, displaying the full potential of the flame dragon fist. Lu Ming's true chi was twice as strong and condensed as an ordinary true chi. When he used the flame dragon fist, there was an indestructible aura. In the first move, Lu Ming only used 50% of his strength. But now, it was 100%. For a moment, Lu Yarrow was forced to retreat. "Lu Yarrow, is this all you've got? I'm really disappointed. Didn't you just say that you want me to show my true form first? So it turns out that you were just talking about it. Show me your true strength. You want to take over the Lu clan with such strength. Do you think you're worthy?" Lu Ming's eyes were like lightning. His cold voice spread across the entire area, causing the crowd to boil. Lu Yarrow, the genius, was actually forced to retreat by Lu Ming. She was completely at a disadvantage. If they didn't see it with their own eyes, it would be hard to believe. Lu Yarrow bit her lips. Her eyes became colder and colder. She shouted, "Lu Ming, I'll show you my true strength." Buzz! Behind Lu Yarrow, a bright red light shone. Then, with a soft cry, a fiery red skylark appeared. On top of the Skylark, there were 5 blood-red chakras. This was its bloodline, a level 5 bloodline. Then, the Skylark landed on Lu Yaro's body and merged with her. Lu Yaro's aura suddenly skyrocketed. Bloodline eruption was an application of bloodline. It could greatly increase a martial artist's strength. The higher the bloodline grade, the greater the increase. A level 5 bloodline could increase one's strength by 50%. Whoosh! Lu Yaro moved like a red lightning bolt and charged towards Lu Ming. Her sword light was aimed at Lu Ming's vital points. Then let's see whose sword technique is better. Lu Ming smiled calmly and unsheathed the obsidian sword on his back. The obsidian sword turned into a ray of light and slashed towards Lu Yaro. Flowing light sword technique. Clang. The two swords clashed and Lu Yaro's sword aura was scattered. Whoosh. Whoosh. Lu Ming's continuous sword gleams shrouded Lu Yaro's entire body. Lu Yaro could only try her best to defend. She was completely suppressed. Although Lu Yaro's cultivation was higher than Lu Ming and she had even activated her bloodline, she was still completely suppressed by Lu Ming in terms of strength. 3 divine veins and the true chi of the true dragon of battle had completely suppressed Lu Yaro. After more than 10 moves, whoosh, Lu Ming's sword light pierced through like lightning and went straight for Lu Yaro's throat. Lu Yaro's face was pale and she couldn't dodge at all. At this moment, everyone's heart was in their mouth. Lu Yaro, the genius of a generation, was going to fall? Whoosh. Suddenly, Lu Ming stopped. The cold tip of his sword was pressed against Lu Yaro's throat. The cold tip of the sword and Lu Ming's cold killing intent made Lu Yaro's eyes flash with fear. At this moment, Lu Yaro's mind went blank. She knew that she had lost. Lu Yaro lost. Lu Ming won completely. This is too shocking. I really didn't expect this. We've been cheated. We've all been cheated by the Lu family. If anyone dares to say that Lu Ming is trash in the future, I'll beat them up. Chapter 20. There was an uproar in the crowd. No one would have thought that Lu Ming, who was rumored to be a good-for-nothing in the Lu family, would defeat Lu Yaro, the favored daughter of the heavens, in such a manner. Impossible. The great elder roared in disbelief. Initially, he thought that Lu Yaro would be able to win this battle easily and take control of the Lu family. Never in his wildest dreams did he expect that this piece of trash, whose bloodline had been stolen by them 2 months ago, would actually be so powerful that she could defeat Lu Yaro with ease. How could this be? Duanmu Qing was also in disbelief. Duanmu Qing, as long as one is a genius, nothing is impossible. Lu Ming has unlocked 3 divine meridians at such a young age. He even defeated Lu Yaro, who was a 4th-level martial warrior and had unleashed his bloodline power. He is definitely a rare genius. Gao Shi said. That's right. Whether it's willpower, pulse examination, or martial arts, Lu Ming completely crushed Lu Yaro in every aspect. Since Lu Yaro has a marriage alliance with your White Tiger Hall, I won't fight with you. This Lu Ming, my Azure Dragon Hall wants him. Taizhong's eyes sparkled. Taizhong, what do you mean? What do you mean your Azure Dragon Hall wants him? Lu Ming, my Black Tortoise School wants him. Gao Shi glared at Taizhong before turning to Lu Ming and saying, Lu Ming, my Black Tortoise School sincerely welcomes your joining. I promise that as long as you join the Black Tortoise School, you can choose 2 Earth-level cultivation techniques and martial skills. Moreover, the upper echelons of the school will definitely accept you as a disciple and personally teach you. Lu Ming, my Azure Dragon Hall also welcomes you. As long as you join my Azure Dragon Hall, not only will you be able to choose Earth-level cultivation techniques and martial skills, you will also be able to enter the important secret cultivation grounds to cultivate. Taizhong threw out another bomb. The words of the 2 messengers spread throughout the crowd and caused another uproar. The 2 great halls had actually given up on Lu Yaro and turned to fight for Lu Ming. Moreover, the conditions they offered were even higher than what they had offered Lu Yaro. Obviously, the messengers of the 2 great halls valued Lu Ming more. Although Lu Ming could not awaken his bloodline, it did not mean that he could not awaken it in the Mystic Essence Sword sect. The Mystic Essence Sword sect had a long history and countless secret techniques. It wasn't as if there weren't any secret techniques that could allow one to awaken again. Lu Ming hadn't even awakened his bloodline, yet he already had such talent. Once he really awakened his bloodline, how high would his talent be? Moreover, although the bloodline was extremely important to a martial artist, it was not the only thing. In history, there had been martial artists who could not awaken their bloodline but had reached the peak of martial arts and become peerless experts. Therefore, even if Lu Ming really could not awaken his bloodline, his future achievements would not be low. The envoys of the two great academies were burning with passion. Duanmu Qing's eyes flickered with annoyance. Unfortunately, the White Tiger sect would surely stand on Lu Yaro's side. There was no way he would be able to marry Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming did not reply to the envoys from the two colleges. Instead, he looked at Lu Yaro indifferently and said, "Lu Yaro, I used to treat you and Lu Yunxiong as my family. I had absolute trust in both of you. However, in your hearts, I'm just a useless person with useful value. Not only that, but you also want to seize the position of the patriarch of the Lu clan. 2 months ago, you said that in this world, everything depends on strength. Whoever is stronger will have the right to speak. The weak will only be trampled on. Now, I'll return those words to you. You are just a weakling in front of me. You are not worthy to be my opponent, Lu Ming." Lu Ming's clear voice echoed throughout the hall. Every word that Lu Ming said was very clear. It was like a slap on Lu Yaro's face. It was extremely loud and clear. "Haha, Lu Ming, don't be so arrogant here. Do you really think you can rise? I have the Duanmu clan behind me. What do you have to compete with me? Although I've lost temporarily, in a year, no, in half a year, I will surpass you and completely trample you under my feet." Lu Yaro screamed hysterically. Because of her anger, her face was distorted. Being defeated, surpassed, and even looked down on by Lu Ming, a piece of trash that she had never taken seriously, she almost went crazy. "Lu Ming, put away your sword and get out of the fighting stage." The first elder roared. "Shut up, bitch. And Lu Yunxiong, what right do you have to speak?" Lu Ming's eyes were like lightning. He shouted with a murderous aura. With a shake of his sword, a shallow cut appeared on Lu Yaro's neck, causing her face to turn pale. "How dare you? Lu Yaro is the fiancé of the White Tiger clan's genius, Duanmu Lin. You dare to hurt her? You're courting death." Duanmu Qing shouted. However, Lu Ming did not even look at him. Instead, he looked at the 7 core elders. "7 core elders, do you know why I can't awaken my bloodline?" Lu Ming said. "Why can't you awaken your bloodline?" Many people were stunned. What other reason could there be for not awakening his bloodline? Wasn't it because of his own body? Could there be some other inside story? "Lu Ming, do you think there's some inside story?" The oldest core elder among the 7 core elders said. "Lu Ming, don't talk nonsense." Before Lu Ming could say anything, the first elder shouted. "Lu Yunxiong, shut your mouth." The oldest core elder shouted loudly. The first elder closed his mouth with an ugly expression. "That's because this heaven's chosen daughter and this first elder pretended to be good to me. Then, they made me eat Yama pollen for 3 years to nourish my bloodline. That's why I can't awaken my bloodline. Then, after I failed to awaken my bloodline, they seized the opportunity to take my bloodline and merge it with their own. Otherwise, Lu Yaro, how could you have awakened your bloodline? How could you have awakened it?" Lu Ming's voice was very calm as he spoke the truth. His words caused a huge commotion. Everyone was shocked and the scene was in an uproar. Many people knew that Lu Ming had once been tested by a pulse detector. It was very likely that he had inherited his father's bloodline and could awaken his bloodline. However, it was indeed strange that he could not awaken his bloodline. At this moment, when Lu Ming said it, it made some sense. Beast, how dare you treat Minga like this?" The first to react was Li Ping. She was so angry that her body was trembling. Her eyes were red as she stared at the first elder and Lu Yao. Following that, tears flowed down her cheeks. She did not expect that Lu Ming's injury 2 months ago was caused by his bloodline being taken away. How painful would it be to have one's bloodline taken away? Is this true? The 7 core elders' faces darkened. Anger was brewing in their eyes. Lu Ming, you're slandering us. You're the useless one, but you're pushing all the blame on us. You're despicable and shameless. 7 core elders, Lu Ming's character is too bad. I suggest that we chase him out of the Lu family. The first elder roared. His eyes were shining with a cold light. That's right, Lu Ming. Do you think anyone will believe your nonsense? Lu Yarrow also said coldly. We'll know whether it's true after the test. Lu Yarrow, do you dare to test it? Lu Ming stared at Lu Yarrow with bright eyes. Lu Yarrow's face turned pale. Chapter 21. At this moment, everyone's gazes were on the first elder and Lu Yarrow. Lu Ming was right. They had used their blood to nourish their meridians for 3 years and then absorbed Lu Ming's bloodline. Lu Ming, who the hell do you think you are? Do you think we'll do it just because you say so? The first elder was still unwilling to give up. But the others weren't fools. How could they not guess from Lu Yarrow and the first elder's expressions? What Lu Ming said was most likely the truth. At this moment, the way everyone looked at Lu Yarrow and the first elder changed. Using blood to nourish one's meridians and then taking it away was definitely a great taboo in the martial world. It was too despicable and shameless. Lu Yunxiong. At this moment, the 7 core elders looked at the first elder with disappointment in their eyes. The oldest core elder was especially furious. He shouted, Lu Yunxiong, as the Lu clan's grand elder, how can you do such a despicable thing? How can you face our ancestors? If you continue to be the Lu clan's grand elder in the future, how will you be able to convince everyone? Today, the Elder Hall announces that Lu Yunxiong will be removed from his position as the first elder. Furthermore, Lu Yarrow will also be removed from her position as the Lu family's patriarch. What? You want to remove me from my position as the first elder? You actually want to remove me from my position because of that little bastard Lu Ming? Remember, Yarrow has already married the Duanmu family. The first elder roared, bringing up the Duanmu family. Duanmu Qing's expression was also very ugly. He looked at the 7 core elders and said, you should consider this carefully. Lu Yarrow and my Duanmu family are connected by marriage. Letting her become the Lu family's patriarch is a great honor for your Lu family. In the future, your Lu family might become even more prosperous. Doing this now is just digging your own grave. Duanmu Qing's words caused the expressions of the 7 core elders and the rest of the Lu family to change. They could ignore Lu Yarrow and the first elder, but they couldn't ignore the Duanmu family behind Lu Yarrow. The Duanmu family was too strong. It would be easy for the Mystic Origin Sword sect to destroy the Lu family. However, under such circumstances, if Lu Yarrow were to take over the position of the head of the family and even help Lu Yarrow deal with Lu Ming, then the Lu family would really become the laughingstock of Windy Fire City and even many cities in the vicinity. How should he choose? Pa. Suddenly, Mulin stood up, clapped her hands, and said, Duanmu Qing, how awe-inspiring. Do you think you can represent the Duanmu clan? Or perhaps, the Duanmu clan could represent the Mystic Essence Sword sect. Don't try to intimidate others. Let me tell you, I, Mulins, have the Lu family under my protection. I want to see what ability your Duanmu family has. Mulins, are you sure you want to be a busybody? Duanmu Qing's expression changed as he asked. I'm definitely going to get involved. Mulins coldly shouted. She was extremely domineering. Senior Duanmu. Duanmu Qing was about to say something when Lu Yarrow called out to him, Senior Duanmu, Lu Yarrow is willing to join the White Tiger sect. There's no need for a mere Lu clan. Duanmu Qing's eyes flickered as he said with a smile, that's right, there's no need for a mere Lu clan. With Lady Lu Yarrow's talent, you will surely set your sights on the entire Blazing Sun Empire in the future, or even step onto a bigger stage. Lu Yarrow nodded, before she turned to Lu Ming and said in an icy tone, Lu Ming, kill me today if you dare. Otherwise, I'll return the humiliation you've given me today tenfold. The humiliation I've given you? Lu Ming laughed and said, How ridiculous. You only have yourself to blame for what happened today. If you didn't take away my bloodline, would this have happened? Lu Yao, I won't kill you. I'll let you verify your words with your own eyes. There's an insurmountable gap between you and me. Besides, one day, I'll let you witness with your own eyes that I'll crush your so-called peerless genius Duanmu Lin under my feet. Now, you can leave. Lu Ming sheathed his sword. His confident and determined voice echoed throughout the place. Lu Ming, there's still a long way to go. Just you wait. Father, you and big brother will follow me to the Mystic Essence Sword Sec. Lu Yao's icy voice resounded. Duanmu Qing's expression also turned cold as he looked at Lu Ming and said, Lu Ming, you? You can't even compare to Duanmu Lin's finger. I hope you won't join the Mystic Essence Sword Sect. Otherwise, you'll realize how stupid and ignorant your words today are. Let's go. Roar. The red flaming tiger roared. Lu Yao and the first elder brought Lu Chuan and followed Duanmu Qing and the others on the red flaming tiger. They left in a sorry state, not even bothering to pack their things. As Lu Yao and the others left, the day's events came to an end. Although the other youths of the Lu clan had yet to start their duels, no one was paying attention to them. Today's events were full of twists and turns. It was out of everyone's expectations. Originally, most people thought that the main character of today's event would be Lu Yao. She would use the name of a genius to ascend to the position of the Lu clan's patriarch with her peerless talent. However, all of this had changed drastically because of one person. He was Lu Ming. He was the main character of today's event. Good, Lu Ming. You're domineering and confident enough. How about it? Join my Vermilion Bird Courtyard. In the future, you'll be able to defeat that so-called genius Duanmu Lin. Mulins clapped her hands. She didn't hide her admiration for Lu Ming at all. Then, she added, however, I won't agree to any of your conditions. A cultivator has to rely on himself to obtain everything. Everyone was speechless. Who would invite someone like that? How could she invite someone like that? However, Lu Ming's actions made them even more dumbfounded. He nodded and said, Hall Master Mu, I agree to join the Vermilion Bird Courtyard. The reason why he agreed to join Mulin's was mainly to thank her for her help. Moreover, he was going to join a powerful sect to cultivate anyway. Only then would he have more resources. The Mystic Essence Sword sect gathered the geniuses of the 2,000 cities in the eastern part of the Blazing Sun Empire. Only by competing with the other geniuses on such a vast stage could Lu Ming go further on the path of martial arts. He would never achieve great things if he was content with staying in a small corner. Good. Mulins was overjoyed. Others thought that Lu Ming didn't have a bloodline, but she had long sensed that Lu Ming had a bloodline power in him. If such a genius joined the Vermilion Bird Courtyard, perhaps it would bring about a change in the Vermilion Bird Courtyard. Lu Ming, the only thing I can promise you is that after you join the Mystic Essence Sword sect, the elders of the Duanmu family won't dare to openly attack you. However, the younger generation of the Duanmu family will have to rely on you. Then, Mulins waved her hand and a jade token flew to Lu Ming. She said, Lu Ming, 2 months later, take this jade token and go to the Mystic Essence Sword sect's Vermilion Bird Courtyard. Then, you can join the Vermilion Bird Courtyard directly. On the jade token, a lifelike vermilion bird was engraved. Thank you, Hall Master Mu. Lu Ming clasped his fists and put away the jade token. It was enough. As long as the elders of the Duanmu family didn't attack him, it was enough. If he couldn't even pass the test of the younger generation of the Duanmu family, then what was the point of cultivating martial arts? Hehe, Lu Ming, then I'll wait for you at the Mystic Essence Sword Sec. Mulins smiled coquettishly. Then, she got up and left the Lu family's martial arts practice field. Lu Ming, welcome to the Mystic Essence Sword Sect. I hope you'll become a powerhouse in the future. Jiao Shi and Tai Zhong both got up and congratulated Lu Ming. Thank you, seniors. I'm very sorry that I didn't choose the Azure Dragon Courtyard or the Black Tortoise Courtyard today. Lu Ming bowed. Haha, it's okay. Jiao Shi laughed. Lu Ming's attitude made the two of them very happy. This Lu Ming is not only talented, but he's also humble and upright. He'll definitely become a great person in the future. Both of them thought so in their hearts. Lu Ming, we'll meet again at the Mystic Essence Sword Sec. Liu Qian laughed. Then, Jiao Shu, Tai Zhong, and Liu Qian left with their people. They were no longer in the mood to look at the other young people of the Lu family. After the emissaries left, the people of the Lu family were no longer in the mood. The ceremony ended hastily. However, everything that happened today was destined to shake the entire Fiery Wind City. Lu Ming's name would also set off a storm in Fiery Wind City. Chapter 22. The next day, Lu Ming, Li Ping, and Autumn Moon moved back to the main residence. Standing in front of the main residence, Lu Ming had a lot of thoughts. All of this was because of the increase in his strength. If he was still the trash whose bloodline was stolen, he wouldn't even be able to save his own life, let alone move back to the main residence. As for Li Ping and Autumn Moon, they wouldn't have a good life in the future. But because of his rise, everything changed. Not only did he destroy Lu Yunxiong and Lu Yao's plans, but he also took back the main residence. Li Ping's life in the future was also guaranteed. Lu Ming was the first successor of the Lu family. As long as he was willing, he could take over the position of patriarch at any time. But this was far from enough. Everything was just the beginning. Lu Ming knew that there was an even greater challenge waiting for him in the Mystic Essence Sword Sect. He couldn't slack off at all. Ming, let's go in. The room has been tidied up. Li Ping walked out with a sword in her hand and smiled. The elder's compound sent 4 young maids over to serve Li Ping and Lu Ming. Therefore, very soon, Lu Yao and the rest's belongings were cleared out of the main mansion. Ming, now that you've made progress in the martial Dao, take this spiritual weapon that your father sent back. Li Ping handed the sword in her hand to Lu Ming. This sword had been taken by Lu Chuan previously, but now it was back in their hands. Lu Ming nodded and took the sword. He walked in with Li Ping. After returning to the room, Lu Ming began to cultivate. A few days ago, he used the spiritual essence pill to raise his cultivation from the peak of martial warrior realm to the early stage of martial warrior realm. His foundation was unavoidably unstable, and he needed to consolidate it. After cultivating the true dragon art for a few hours, Lu Ming entered the Temple of Paragon and began to cultivate his martial arts techniques. In the blink of an eye, 7 days passed. One day, Lu Ming was practicing his martial arts in the Temple of Paragon when he sensed some movement outside. He went out of the Temple of Paragon. As soon as he came out, he heard Autumn Moon's voice. "Young master, Lu Bing is here to see you." Lu Bing. Lu Ming was stunned. He opened the door and walked out. Autumn Moon nodded and said, "Young master, do you want to meet him?" Lu Ming smiled and said, "Of course, why wouldn't I?" When he came to the living room, he saw Lu Bing pacing back and forth uneasily. Upon seeing Lu Ming, Lu Bing smiled and said, "Young Master Ming, you're finally here." Noticing the change in the way Lu Bing addressed him, Lu Ming smiled faintly. He casually sat down at the head of the table and said, "What business do you have with me?" Lu Bing suddenly cupped his fists towards Lu Ming and said, "Young Master Ming, I came here today to apologize to you. In the past, I had eyes but failed to see. I didn't know young Master Ming's talent and offended you. I hope you won't take it to heart." Lu Bing, was it the 5th elder who asked you to come? Lu Ming said. Lu Bing smiled and said, "Yes, it was my father who asked me to come, but it was also my own idea. Young Master Ming, here are 5,000 taels of silver. I hope you can accept it." Lu Bing took out a stack of silver and handed it to Lu Ming. "All right, Autumn Moon, help me accept it." Lu Ming smiled. To be honest, Lu Bing didn't take it to heart. Since the other party gave him silver as an apology, why wouldn't he accept it? Autumn Moon stepped forward and took the silver. Her small face was flushed with excitement. She had never seen so many silver. Although Lu Bing was extremely pained, he still squeezed out a smile and said, "Thank you, young Master Ming. Then I'll take my leave. Young Master, the head of the Li family is here to see you." As soon as Lu Bing left, another maid came to report. The head of the Li family, Li Fu. Lu Ming frowned. He had a very bad impression of this Li Fu. Have you informed madam? Lu Ming asked. The maid said, yes, I have. At this time, Li Ping walked over and said, Ming your uncle is here. Let's meet him. Lu Ming nodded and then ordered the maid to bring Li Fu in. Haha, little sister, Ming I'm here to see you. As soon as he came in, Li Fu laughed. His face was full of smiles. Those who didn't know would think that his relationship with Lu Ming was very good, very close. Big brother. Li Ping called out. But Lu Ming had a cold smile on his face. He sat casually and said, head of the Li family, what brings you to the Lu family today? Don't tell me you're here to see a trash like me. Ahem. Li Fu coughed a few times. His old face was slightly red. He laughed dryly and said, Ming is such a genius, how can he be trash? If someone says that again, I'll break their legs. Ming your uncle was old and muddle-headed. That's why I listened to other people's rumors. I hope you don't take it to heart. Lu Ming suddenly realized that another one had come to apologize. This time, Lu Ming's performance was indeed very shocking. Although he had offended the Duanmu family, Lu Ming had won the favor of Mulins of the Elixir Hall. His future achievements were uncertain. Moreover, at least now, Lu Ming was definitely the successor of the Lu family. Therefore, Lu Bing, Li Fu, and those who had offended him before could not sit still and came to reconcile and apologize. In the world of martial arts, the strong were respected. This was vividly reflected in this moment. Big brother, don't worry. Ming won't take it to heart. Li Ping said with a happy smile on her face. Li Fu took out a jade bottle and said, that's good. Little sister, I've prepared 10 qi gathering pills this time. It's just a small token of my appreciation. Please accept it. Qi gathering pills, lower grade level 2 pills, cost 2,000 silver taels each. 10 pills would be 20,000 silver taels. It seemed that Li Fu had really put in a lot of money this time. 20,000 silver taels was equivalent to half a year's income of the Li family. The biggest family in Firestorm City, the Lu family, only had a yearly income of 200,000 silver taels. Thank you very much. Lu Ming received it directly. Originally, Lu Ming did not want to bother with Li Fu. However, the Li family was Li Ping's family after all. Lu Ming could see that Li Ping still cared about the Li family's attitude. Li Ping was obviously very happy that Li Fu came to apologize. Therefore, for Li Ping's sake, Lu Ming had to pretend. It would be a waste not to accept these 10 qi gathering pills. Seeing that Lu Ming accepted it, Li Fu was finally relieved. Although 20,000 silver taels made his heart ache, it was still an investment. If Lu Ming really rose in the future, his Li family would not be too sad. If he had known that Lu Ming had such talent, he would not have offended Lu Ming like that. After chatting for a while, Li Fu said goodbye and left. Autumn Moon, how many meridians have you opened? After Li Fu left, Lu Ming quickly asked Autumn Moon. Li Ping also looked at Autumn Moon curiously. Young master, madam, I opened 8 meridians yesterday. Autumn Moon replied. What? Lu Ming and Li Ping were shocked. They stared at Autumn Moon with their mouths agape. The first few meridians were relatively easy to open, but the later meridians were more difficult. In just over 10 days, Autumn Moon had opened 8 meridians. The key was that he was practicing the qi gathering technique, a basic cultivation technique. Moreover, he did not take any pills. This kind of talent was too amazing. Could it be that Autumn Moon can open meridians without relying on his bloodline? Lu Ming could not help but think so. Mother, Autumn Moon, don't tell anyone about this for now. Lu Ming said to Li Ping and Autumn Moon, you're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.